What did you make of Microsoft's outing yesterday and the relevance really for the wider tech basket?
So I think the bit of Microsoft that really interests me is the Azure business, because that essentially underlies the whole of Microsoft. It's all essentially reselling Azure, even if it's not, even if you're buying a software package or something. And those numbers were, as your journalist just said, possibly a little bit slower in the quarter than people expected. Then the guidance in the conference call was that would re-accelerate. And that, I mean, it's extraordinary that is an enormous business. The whole of Microsoft's an enormous business. It's all growing, more than 20% top and bottom line. And the public cloud business has been sort of between 45 and 48% a year every quarter for the last few quarters. It's an indicator of how much is going on in technology. Microsoft is particularly well positioned in the cloud, in my view, as the whole of the enterprise sort of world moves to the cloud, and they trust Microsoft a lot more than they trust Amazon. But it's an indicator that technology is still extremely strong under there, and I think probably a good indicator for the market as a whole. Although, do note that technology has basically taken all the profit growth of the whole market for pretty much the last 15 years. So everyone else can grow their revenue. It's only tech that actually grows their profits. But Microsoft is a pretty good indicator that everything looks quite healthy, really, in fundamental terms. What the market pays for that, of course, is a different matter.
Can I ask you about the gaming business, because there's been a huge focus on that after this Activision Blizzard deal, and if you look at the growth in that Xbox services division, it's really come off the highs from 65% in the high water level of the fourth quarter down to roughly up about 10%, so quite a significant slowdown here. Does buying content and all the content that Activision Blizzard has, does that make a difference to the numbers we can expect from this division over at Microsoft?
Well, it'll give you a big one-off jump. Whether there's a sustainable organic growth rate acceleration, I'm not sure. I mean, they're buying a fantastic asset here, and they're not having to pay too much for it. After all the troubles that Activision has had over the last 12 months, essentially they're getting at what would have been regarded as an absolute bargain a year ago. It brings, I suspect, regulatory questions. Will they be allowed to acquire the whole thing? Will they have to divest anything? You've got the various issues that have been going on within Activision over the last year. There's presumably some hangover to deal with that as well. You'll probably have management changes. I don't know if the CEO will hang around once the acquisition is gone, and he has been central to the Activision story for a very long time. So whether they're acquiring a business that is sort of as well controlled and well directed as it was a year ago, I'm not altogether sure. They're getting a lot of very good game franchises, but what they choose to make of them is less clear. So I'm not sure it accelerates the organic growth rate, but it certainly gives them a big boost. But there are issues on the way through.